Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so I just have one announcement. I put this out yesterday. Looks like a couple of you responded. I did get one email. So I will not be the proctor, but another instructor for 105 will be proctoring online exams for Certiport on these 2 dates. So that's tomorrow and then Wednesday. And there are 2 time slots available for each day. So if you can send me an email with your time slot selection or else respond here, I will take a look at that and update it for the instructor to send you an email. So the way that works is she will send you, the instructor's name is Maggie Brown, so make sure you're looking for an email from her. She will send you an email with a link in it. That link is unique to you to take the exam. So yes, David asked a question here. If will we be taking it from our house? And yes. So I will also be in the lab on Friday if you would rather do it in person. So Friday at noon, I will be in Business 104. So there's a few opportunities for you this week if you want to take the Certiport exam. Okay, any questions about that? All right. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the geometric stuff. So when you are screenshotting your assignments that are due that you need to upload, please, please, please follow the instructions in the assignment. So if we look at the PowerPoint one for week 4, so the instructions are right here. It's kind of all over the board right now, and it makes it really difficult for grading, especially if RTA is doing the grading. She does not have access to the Geometrics Admin Council, so she can't grade those if you guys aren't including all the information that is necessary. So please, please, please follow these instructions on how to do your screenshot so I can see all of your assignments. A lot of you are uploading multiples, and really you only need one if you do it this way. So let me just show you real quick. Once you're in Geometrics, complete all of your training and testing modules that you need for that week. And then come over here to your left menu. Under tests, you'll see completed tests. And then you can filter here. So if you wanted to show me all of your Word modules, you can come down here, select the Word Associate 365 2019, and then you can screenshot this. When you screenshot this, make sure your name is included in the upper right corner, okay? So I need to verify who you are logged in as, what the actual module was, if it was practice exam 2 testing or practice exam 1 testing or any of the skill reviews, and then your score. So this screen has everything I need for grading. When you don't do it this way, it complicates things and takes a lot more time for me on the back end and my TA. So please, please, please do it like this, how the instructions state. And if you have questions or you can't figure this out, please let me know. But this will hopefully save you guys some time too, and you don't need to upload multiple attachments. It's just one attachment and you're done. All right, so let's talk about last week real quick. Did anybody have any questions on the materials from week 4? So you just had, I think, three assignments in Geometrics for PowerPoint. We were getting started there. I think you had the skill review 1, skill review 2, and then the practice exam 1. I did get a couple questions about the training modules that are coming up blank. Has anybody experienced that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Anybody?
I ended up getting a 65% because I couldn't see like half of them.
Okay. So did you do any type of troubleshooting, Alexis? Did you like restart? Did you save, get out? Did you try a different browser? Anything like that?
I left and came back and it seemed like it was working, but I didn't think, I don't know, like it didn't match the skill reviews. The questions didn't match.
So were you doing the testing part of the skill review?
No, I was doing the final exam.
Oh, okay. So the final exam in Word, so that is basically every question. And then we just selected, so you guys aren't all taking the same final exam. It's going to be a random, because there's such a giant pool of questions, it's going to be a random 35 questions. So if you guys run into issues like that, please try and take a screenshot of them and send them to me. I know a couple of you did, but especially if you're doing like your Word final exam or anything like that, just screenshot it so I can see what you're saying, because if there's issues, it might be the SMS 7 that we're using. I can try and go through that tonight and see if I'm having any experience like you guys are. And maybe we just roll back to the SMS 6. We didn't have any problems last year and we were using version 6. So they might still be trying to work out some bugs with the 7 version. And you're welcome to go back to the 6 if you want to do that, if you're tired of having any issues. Either way is fine with me. They should be the same questions regardless. So any way you want to do it is fine. Okay, so
Should the final exam be the same questions as all the skill reviews?
No. So those, like I said, they're gonna pull. You probably did see a few of the same questions. So there might be a little bit of overlap, but you're probably not going to see all the same questions. That's the same with the Certiport exam. You're not going to see the exact same questions what you were doing in your skill reviews and practice exams. The point of the training and testing modules is to get you to learn the concept, right? Where things are laid out and how to do certain functions. But it's not going to spoon feed you. So you have to learn the concept, not just how to do the one task. Okay, so a handful of you had some issues. If you think that hindered your performance on an exam, please send me an email and I can see what we can do to have you retake it. I don't want you to feel like the technology impeded you from doing well. So if you do want to retake it, please let me know. All right, any other questions on last week's assignments? Okay. So we're into week 5 now, and we're going to wrap up our Gmetrics PowerPoint. I believe this is the practice exam too. So we have those to do this week. And then we also have our career presentation. So let's just talk about that for a little bit and we can walk through that and see exactly what that entails. So again, your instructions are here. You have a template to use that has some instructions in it as well. So make sure you download the template. You do have some video instructions, but please note Make sure you're using the video instructions as a guide. Okay, so the video instructions were created in Blackboard, so it looks a little bit different than what we see in Canvas now. And it might make references to some things that we've changed in the curriculum. So use it as a guide, okay? Don't use it as a step-by-step instruction. Like I mentioned, the instructions here have been updated with the current requirements. So use it as a guide. And then there is some additional materials down here on how to create creative presentations and how to conduct interviews as well. So if we download our template, I have that down here already, and we have our instructions. I have them on my other screen so you can't see them, but feel free to download and pull those up if you want to walk along step by step. All right, so this week we're talking about your career choice. So the concept here is to put together a PowerPoint presentation. You could present to a high school class. Maybe they want to learn more about careers. So let's see here. We have our template. So step one is download the template and make sure your notes page is visible. So if you cannot see the notes down here, make sure you do it here. Down at the bottom, there's a little notes tab. Click on that and that will appear and disappear. All right, so again, like I mentioned, the instructions are also, or some instructions are also in here besides the Word instructions you download from the course. So let me just pull up one other thing here. Give me 1 second, just want to get some data up so we can copy and paste into there. Okay, so slide one, pretty simple, straightforward. Basically, you title it, what your presentation is. This is your career choice. So if I'm doing mine, I'm going to say desktop support manager, and then you need to enter your name. Okay, simple, straightforward. So your job description here, I need about 3 to 4 sentences. So if you're going into finance, accounting, criminal justice, whatever that may be, typically you're going to be able to Google this very quickly and easily and find a job description or a summary of what the job entails. So just from my job description, I'm going to copy and put a little blurb in there. Job expectations. So these include any duties that you would need to perform on the job. So let me grab a few of mine for an example. And again, at least 3 bullets. The more the merrier. Some of these jobs can get really in depth. I have, I don't know, probably 20 or so bullets on my actual job description. So you should not have a problem finding any information here. So just a few expectations of my job: provide the monitoring and direction of team project related activities, respond to user requests for information, assist in problem resolution. So these are all going to vary based on what you select as your career choice. All right, slide 4 is a video. So basically with the video, there's some more instructions down here, but also in the Word instructions, you can see that it's asking to do a small video, 2 to 3 minutes on your career choice. And then this needs to be embedded from YouTube. So I'm not sure, I'm guessing that you guys probably have run into inserting videos and embedding videos, but let's just go ahead and do that real quick. So if we just pop YouTube open, I am going to just search for desktop support. And I'm just going to pick the first video here.
And I'm thrilled that you were
Okay. And when you click on the share button here, you're going to see an embed option. And when you click on that, the text you're looking for is right here, the iframe. So if you hit copy, it's going to highlight that text and copy it for you. And then if we go back to our slide here, we're going to embed that YouTube video. So when you go to insert, and then we're going to come over here to the media group and choose video, and we're going to do online video. And then I'm going to choose the second option here from a video embed code, and I'm going to paste that iframe code right into there. So I click the arrow. It does take a second or two here to load. Give it a second. All right, so you can see when it embeds it, it actually puts the video right into the slide. So if I click play here, it plays right in my presentation. All right, it's not linking me out to YouTube, it's right here. So make sure you're embedding it. I don't want to have to go out to a link to see your video in your presentation. All right, so that's really it for slide 4. If we move down to slide 5, so this is information on the average wage for the career you've chosen. So slide 5, you need to compare it to at least 3 different companies or locations for your field. So again, this is pretty easy to Google search. Let's just do compensation comparison. Okay, so if you Google that, you're going to get a few websites that are you're probably pretty familiar with already. If you're not, these are really good references for you guys as you start looking for jobs. Salary.com, payscale.com, and glassdoor.com. These are just websites that you can use to search wages and jobs, like the locations of jobs and what the salary comparison is. So let me just go to, I think this is the one. Yeah, okay, so if we use PayScale here, I'm just gonna do some compensation research. I think that's where it was. And if I do, where was I? Let me look at this one real quick. Oh, this is the one I was looking at. So this one is a really easy one, salary.com. So if I just type in the desktop support and I type in my location, okay, do my salary estimate, and then it's going to bring up, you know, different job titles. So make sure you grab one that you think you're interested in. I'm going to go with the first one there on the list. And there are some filters over here that you can use to kind of manipulate the data. So you can see like the median salary right now is 109. I wish I made that much. So this gives you kind of a good idea of what this, you know, position should be making in Big Rapids. Now you can also do your education. So if you have a bachelor's or master's degree or PhD, that may affect the salary as well. You can just kind of play with this and see, you know, how those things affect your salary. If you want to change your location. So the assignment for slide 5, the instructions are to compare it with either 3 different companies or locations. So this helps kind of account for the standard of living, or, you know, what different like private versus public sector jobs will pay. So the idea is to just kind of get you familiar with where you can look this information up, and you know what sector you go into or what company you want to work for, and how those salaries can vary by location as well. All right, so go back. Oops. So if I just do desktop support and I don't put in an actual location. So you have a location drop down here. So, you know, if I wanted to go to like, oh, let's see if Seattle's on the list here. Yeah, so Seattle's probably going to pay more. So you can see how that changes your salary as well. So do that for 3 different locations, or else find 3 different companies for slide 5. And then the interview portion. So slide 6 and slide 7 are for your interview. So you need to find a person that you know or you don't know. It can be, you know, one of your parents' friends if they're in the line of work, or if it's a parent, that's fine too, as long as it's in that career path that you are choosing. So interview someone in that career path in your field. You can email them, you can call them, you can do an in-person interview, whatever works for you guys. And then in the instructions under number 7, there are, I don't know, 5 or 6 questions that you should ask. Now, if you Google some questions like what to ask in an interview for this field or this position, that's fine too. Just try and make sure that you cover all those questions that are in number 7 of the instructions. Those are kind of just baseline questions, and that will kind of give you a good feel of, you know, what that person does, pros and cons, how are they feeling about that choice, and what is like the future look like for those positions. And then slide 8. So slide 6 for the interview, you know, answer these questions. Who are you interviewing? What's their position? How do you know them? Okay, I want to know that information about the candidate you're interviewing. And then slide 7, you can include the responses from the questions in number 7 in the instructions of the Word document on slide 7. And then number 8, so some of the job requirements. So job requirements are like, do you need so many years of experience? Do you need a bachelor's degree? Maybe you just need an associate's degree. Maybe you need a master's degree or a PhD. So those are all of the job requirements. So along with any certifications. So if I put my job requirements in, that's what I need to do my job. All right. So minimum bachelor's, and then preferred to have the A+ certification, an HDI certification, which is Help Desk Institute, or any other standard industry certification. So think of job requirements like that. Also, like, how long do you have to be in school for? Not just the master's degree, but do you have to do like continuing education? If you're going into like teaching, you have to do so many continuing education credits per year or every other year to keep up your teaching certifications. So anything like that. So if it's an ongoing type of thing, include that as well. And then we talked about certifications, job experience, degrees, anything else you can think of or can find on that, throw it in there. And then the last slide, 9, is just for your references. So make sure that you are including a reference for your interview candidate. So Google or use whatever tool you use to make your citations. There should be an option on how to cite an in-person interview. So please make sure you look that up. Include that, and then you're going to want to include like your payscale.com, your glassdoor.com, anything like that that you use to get the information you need. Now, if you look up specific jobs with specific companies, go ahead and include those too. So whatever resources you use to complete the project, make sure that you include those here on slide 9. And you need at least 3 of those. You can use the MLA or APA formatting. If you guys are using one for one class or for another class outside of this one, go ahead and just use whatever you're familiar with. Oops, hold on. Okay. All right, and then in your references, you should have the hyperlink as well. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so just make sure you include all your references for any material that you find online and your interview candidate. Now at the end of the instructions in Word, there are 5 additional requirements, okay? So make sure you check those out and you scroll all the way to the bottom. The instructions for this assignment are 2 pages. And then there are also some resources listed on there for to help you find some information on your career as well. So at the bottom, the additional requirements include a theme for your project. So you've probably seen this in the modules for geometrics. So make sure you're choosing a theme. Okay. You can pick whatever theme you want. Just make sure it's professional. Remember, this is a presentation that you are giving to a high school for like a career day in the career you chose. Find at least one picture related to your profession and use that as the background for at least one slide. So if it's finance, maybe, you know, it's like a stock market picture or something. Save that and insert it into your presentation, at least one slide. Make sure that it is readable. So, you know, make sure the contrast is appropriate. Sometimes it's hard to see if it's a light image on a light background and vice versa. So make sure it is readable. The third additional requirement, you need to use a minimum of the 2 transitions and 2 animations. So those are up here. Make sure you're inserting those. Okay, you can use any 2 that you want and any 2 animations. The fourth requirement, make sure you're including at least 2 shapes with the text on your slides. Any slides, any shapes, I don't care. Again, just try and make it professional and have it fit kind of your slide. I don't want random shapes thrown on there, so make it fit with your whole theme of the presentation. And then insert at least 1 chart or 1 smart art graphic in your presentation. All right, so on the insert tab, again, you can do the smart art. If it's a flow chart or a cycle, process list, anything you can use, I don't care what it is. Just make sure that fits with the contents in your slides. And if you don't want to do the smart art graphic, you can do 1 chart. So, you know, maybe the locations is a good choice for that, where you can do, you know, your table or your chart and show, you know, how much your salary would be in this location, how much it would be in the second location, how much it would be in the third location, and then maybe create a chart out of that. However you want to work that is fine with me. Just make sure that you are reading all the additional requirements and inserting those into your presentation. All right, so any questions on this week's assignment? All right, it's pretty straightforward. So try and figure out who you're going to interview and maybe get that done first. That's probably going to be the hardest part of this assignment. Again, it can be a parent, it can be a friend, it can be an older sibling. If you have someone that's already out of college that you know, that's fine, and in their career choice or the career choice of yourself as well. I don't care who it is, just make sure you put all that information into the slides. Okay, so Kyra is asking, do we have a presentation for the genocide project next week? Yes, you do. That is an individual assignment, and it can be based upon the group research paper that you guys did. So the presentation for the genocide project is next week, okay? We're doing the career presentation first, and then next week is the genocide presentation. Any other questions? All right, guys. Well, email me if you do have questions, please, and email me if you do feel like the geometric stuff was preventing you from doing as well as you thought you should have done. We can take a look at that and talk through some options there. All right, so we're about a third of the way through. Again, make sure you get your Word assignments completed and submitted. PowerPoint is a short week, and then we start getting into some Excel. Or PowerPoint is a short, you know, we only do PowerPoint for a couple weeks. So make sure you get, you know, caught up on Word, get your PowerPoint stuff in, because when we start moving into Excel, those assignments are going to take you a little bit longer. They're a little bit more in depth than what we're experiencing with Word and Excel. So get all that stuff in so you don't have to worry about it, and then we can move forward just with Excel. All right, any last minute questions? All right, well, I'm going to hang out. You guys have, I don't know, 15 minutes left. If you want to get the template downloaded and get started on that, go ahead. I will be here for another 15 minutes. Have a good day, guys.
Hey Sharon, can we do a different topic for our like genocide? Because we did the Holocaust for our group work, but I was wondering if I could do the Holodomor for my individual one.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just look at the instructions here. Was that Colton?
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, there's nothing really tying it to that project. I just thought it'd be easier for you guys, to do that work once, but whatever you want to do it on is fine. Just make sure you're hitting all the instructions.
Okay.
Okay. Connor, Kyle, you guys have any last minute questions? All right, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to end the session here and get the recording uploaded. Have a good day.